Hi everyone, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel. Hope you had a very enjoyable and relaxing Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever other notable day you chose to celebrate. We all have been waiting expectantly for the Tesla holiday update, as it's colloquially known, but otherwise known as Tesla Software Update version 11. So we're on to software 11. And for many people, it's a new and wonderful and liberating interface with lots of exciting changes and lots of fun in learning it. For others, it's a nightmare. People cannot understand it. They don't know where things have gone. Let me read you a text from a close friend of mine who says, "I'm very disappointed with this update. They should have an option that you can go back to the previous version." That's the viewpoint of many people. I've had people emailing me, where do I find this? Where's tire pressure? Where? Look, in today's episode, I'm going to take you through the 12 or 13 new innovations in this holiday update software version 11. Then I'm going to answer 12 where is it gone questions. Things that we used to easily locate and tap on, now they've disappeared. So stay with me right through the end. We'll look first at the updates, and then we'll move to the questions of where did they put the following items, and I'll give you my general opinion of the whole update. One thing's for certain, it's definitely a notable upgrade. It's not just tweaking previous settings. This is a complete refreshment of our user interface. Now, before we get going, obviously Christmas has just passed us by, and I got a few things for Christmas and before Christmas. One of them, of course, was the long-expected MacBook Pro. Let's open it, pull it out. I'm going to be doing a full review of this product here, but let me just show you my baby. That is the MacBook Pro with the M1 Max processor, 64 gig of RAM, 2 terabyte hard drive, 16-inch screen. There it is. But that's not for today. So I'll be coming up with a full review of the MacBook Pro and answer all of the questions, performance, tech specs, what I like, what I don't like about it. And for those that are interested, that'll be an episode you shouldn't miss. By the way, do click the subscribe button below, click notification as well, join the channel, then at least you'll see what's coming up as we go into the new year, and you can participate in the comments, the always robust comments section as well. So now to this software version 11 update. We're going to be moving into the car because 95% of what I have to share is on the touch screen. It's the interface. Let me just mention right at the beginning, spoiler alert, I actually do love the upgrade. I love the new features. I love what they've done. There's a lot of work gone into this. And yeah, none of us likes it when things are moved. I come into my office, Janine's done some tidying up. Where the heck has everything gone? We don't like to come into a familiar place to discover everything's been moved. But sometimes it's for the better. And sometimes we just have to get used to it. So what I'm going to do is to take each of the items that are in the release notes, and with these release notes here, we're just going to take them in the order that they are. It's in the entertainment section, under the toy box. Start the show, and you can adjust the volume in case you've got neighbors who do not appreciate the wonderful sounds of a Tesla in full light show cry. So you can bring that down if you wish, close that. When you jump out of the car, shut the door, the light show will start, and you can see it right here. Number 2, the Customizable App Launcher. The 3 buttons down here always signify additional menu items. Tap on it and you've got a whole box full of shortcuts and apps. Now, I do have some suggestions at the end for additional apps that could go in here, but if we take a look at the ones that are here, we can customize the apps that are on the taskbar. So, for example, if I wanted to replace any of these 3 or add another one, I often use the energy mode. Press and hold, drag down and insert it where you want. Now, sadly, there are only 4 allowable spaces. I'll suggest at the end that there are plenty of blank spaces that can be used to increase that, but for now there are 4. So if I don't want one, I can tap on the X, remove it. If I do want it, I can just bring it back. And in that way, they are customizable. That's the app tray. So we'll hit the X to close it, and you're back to the 3 dots. And by the way, of course, if you want to launch any of these, calendar, drag it down to close it like that. Number 3, Simplified Controls. Tap on Control, and there's a whole page of commonly accessed items that used to be in a number of different places, and I really do like that they've brought them all together, one single page, and you can choose to fold the mirrors, unfold, child lock, window lock. You've got everything there. Glove box. I'll close that. There we go. And you can see that we have the same for windshield wipers, mirrors. In the single quick access screen, we have many of the ones that we used to find in other places, and they've all been brought together. Number 4, blind spot view. What a wonderful new addition. So we go into here, we go to autopilot, and we scroll up. You will find automatic blind spot camera. It's off by default, but tap on there and it's on. Now, what does it do? Well, if I indicate left, I get the left repeater camera showing me what's behind me. Right, the other camera kicks in. Cancel and it goes away. That's been a very long requested feature, and I'm very glad that Tesla finally brought it into our menus. Number 5, editing our waypoints. Let me demonstrate this very quickly. Let's imagine that I'm going to navigate to Quail Ridge, which is Kelowna, where our in-laws live. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the 3 dots there, which obviously signify an additional menu. And I'm going to say, add a stop. And I'm going to say we're going to stop at the Supercharger in Hope. Great. And by the way, let's go and check that out now. So we tap on that there and say, edit our trip. So here it shows us the various stops on our trip. Let's add another one. I'm going to say Real Canadian Superstore in Kelowna. Now, I'll say done for now, but I want to edit that. So I tap on that there and I say, let's edit our trip. I want first to go to Hope. I'd like then to go to the Real Canadian Superstore, and finally I'd like to go to Quail Ridge. Done, and let's go and have a look here, and you can see there that it's showing me there are 2 Superchargers in Hope. This one, which is the one on Fraser Avenue, has 7 stalls available and 1 that's out of order. Oh, come on. I didn't tell you to switch back. Let's go back again. The other Supercharger, tap on there, has 10 stalls available of a total of 12 stalls. Gives you the charging fees, tells you where it is, and you could add that. So we're going to go into Kelowna now and show you that our next stop is the Real Canadian Superstore. Oh, it's showing us the charger, but actually we want to see Real Canadian Superstore, which is where we're going to, and then it tells us we can just quickly do a stop at the Supercharger to top up. We can edit our trip stops, we can add other stops. I don't know what the maximum number is, but we could add quite a few. That's a really great feature. We're going to cancel the trip because we're definitely not going right now. And just a reminder at this point that we now do have access to the Sentry mode live cameras. You guys in the States had it for a long time now. In Canada, we only just recently got it, where you can actually look at the output of your 4 cameras on your phone before approaching your car in a very deserted or dark parking space. You can see exactly what's going on around the car. Really wonderful feature. Number 7 is a feature I don't actually have because my car is one of the older ones, the Boombox Megaphone. Newer cars have a pedestrian speaker, and this allows you to talk by holding the button down and make people around your car hear what you're saying. It can disguise your voice. I don't have it. I'm sorry I can't review that particular point, but it is in this release. But new entertainment. So if we go here and we go to the toy box, we tap on Arcade, and there are new games. There is Sonic the Hedgehog. I never play games. Janine loves this new game, Sudoku. It's there. Great. Another game has become multiplayer capable, and that's Battle of Polytopia, which is sitting right over there. So there are the 3 new ones in your arcade. And if we go to the toy box, of course, that's where you find that light show I demonstrated, your web browser up there, and under theater, in the United States, you guys have now been given TikTok as well. We don't have it here in Canada. Other than that, this remains just the same. One final thing to say about the games is that they now only work when the car is stationary. I guess drivers had a hard time trying to keep their eyes on the road when their passenger was playing a particularly intriguing game or asking them questions about how to play it. So that's just a safety thing, and once we have full self-driving, I guess one of the perks will be we can now play our games, watch our videos along with the car driving for us. Number 9, this is an interesting one. If you go into audio, and I am going to choose James Taylor, but I'll turn him down, right down, bring this down a little bit. You can see right here we still have our original controls, and if you go to tone, there is a 6th fader being added, or a slider as we call it, and it's the sub. So for your sub bass, you can now bump it up or minimize it to reduce excessive bass. So by default, it's at 0, but you can adjust it. All the rest of the tone controls remain exactly like they were before in the past. Number 10, we now have automated seat heaters. If I tap on this, let's just bring this right down, shall we? If we go and have a look over here, as long as you're running your climate control on auto, and excuse the noise that comes up, you can now turn the seat heaters on to auto on either or both sides. And what that means, let's turn that off and turn that off. What that means is if you set a certain temperature in the car will automatically turn on the seats that you have assigned as auto, in this case the passenger and the driver. It'll turn the temperature in the seats up sufficient to match the temperature of the cabin. That's a pretty cool feature. Number 11, deleting your dash cam clips. People used to be able to do clip by clip, but now there's a way to delete the whole lot in one go. Tap on controls, tap on safety, scroll up until you find delete dash cam clips. Tap it and they're all gone. Not Sentry mode clips, just the dash cam clips. Those are the ones as you're driving along that it records everything around you during the drive. And then if you want to format your USB drive and clean it up and start again, there's the button on the right-hand side. Now, number 12. Many of you love dark mode, and now you have the ability under the quick controls to tap on display and appearance, and you can choose to have dark mode all the time, or light mode all of the time, or to switch back between the two as the outside ambient lighting changes. Dark mode's pretty cool, looks very good, and doesn't tend to distract the eye. If you're driving, this is more muted and less in your face. Number 13, of course, it wouldn't be a holiday update if we didn't have the Santa mode or the Sleigh mode, and you can do that in one of two ways. Number 1, I can just press the speak to press microphone button and say, ho, ho, ho. And it opens Santa mode. So Santa mode, if you turn on Jingle All the Way, it'll play that annoying song. As you can see here, everything changes to reindeer. Even cars that are passing or cars that are coming toward you, everything's a reindeer in the new Santa mode. Fun to use. Once Christmas is over, we put it away, we don't see it again. Finally, point number 14, if we tap on the map and we tap on the location pin, we can clear the map. Let's bring the Lynn Valley Mall into view. There are no location pins or points of interest at the moment. Tap on that icon, which used to be the list of chargers, is now the list of points of interest, locations, food locations, etc. And the more you zoom in on it here, the more points of interest appear on your map. Clear them, just tap on that button. That's new and it's welcome. Now for the next section, where the heck did everything go? This is what frustrates most people. They know where things used to be and they have a hard time figuring out where they've gone. Let's run through 12 things you used to find easily and tell you where they have gone to. Number 1, how can I display the charging stations, the list of nearby chargers? That's easy. It used to be here, no longer. Tap navigate, tap charging. There we go. And you can do the same things. You can filter them by speed of charges or there, and that will give you every kind of charger. L2, slow chargers, destination chargers. I typically have those off and I just leave on the fastest chargers. Close with the X. Number 2, where have the X's gone to? In each panel, we used to have an X somewhere you could click it. Well, now you just drag down from the top. So, for example, let's go into, now if we go into the camera view, that still has an X. But if we go to a lot of other choices, it's going to have a look. Theater, there's no X there. Arcade, there's no X there. For all of these, we simply drag down. Or if you have gone into one of those, like let's say arcade, you can just tap it down here and it will go down and up and down and up, because the icon on the right is your recently used icon. So that's another way of doing it. It's tap on calendar. There it is, but there's no X. So get used to dragging it down, and if you want to bring it back up again, the button on the right is your last used app. Number 3, points of interest. Well, as I said to you before, if you don't see it, tap on the map. This used to be the list of charges, but it's now points of interest around you, and as you expand, you're going to get more and more until there is no more to show. Okay, that's pretty useful. The big one that people complain about is that climate control icon, a picture of a little fan that used to be in the center, is gone. But if I tap on either of the 2 temperature indicators, the right or the left, there is the full panel. And here are all of the things you used to have: the rear seat heat controls, the front. On the front, we could actually use auto. On the rear, we have to mechanically turn on and off. We could turn them off like this. There we go. So go back to the front, and these are the ones where you can have auto, heat seating, or you can individually tap to get the level that you want. Why have they done that? Well, the one on the right, this gives the ability for the passenger to change the temperature and split from the driver. So now I can bring mine down while the passenger has theirs up. And I also have the split at the end here. So if I tap on that and I bring the temperature up, cancel split, and now the temperatures are synchronized on either side. Another one people ask about, how do I find my entertainment box? It doesn't appear as a separate icon. Well, here's the answer. Pick any of theater, arcade, toy box, or web browser, and you'll have all 4 of them. So here they are. There's the entertainment box with the 4 components that make it up. Easy. Oh, I didn't want to go into browser. Now that I've tapped, I've got to wait, and that's the reason most people don't use the browser. It takes forever. Not as bad as the original Model S, but nevertheless, it takes quite a while to bring it up. As you can see, that's no fun. People will navigate on their phones in preference to this. Appropriately, it comes to the Tesla website. So let's go back to there, put it down. Number 6, where do I find the tire pressure indicator? There are no more panels on here. You can't bring those cards onto the screen like you used to be able to do. But here's what you can do. Go into Controls, go to Service, and right away there's a picture of your car. When you're driving, you will see tire pressure values appear on the side. As most of you know, you can't check the tire pressure when the car is stationary. So as you drive, this picture will have tire pressures shown. How about the charging display? Again, you used to be able to have a little charge symbol in here. At least it was down the bottom, no longer. So tap the battery. There we go. There's your charge display. Another way to do it is just to go into Controls, Charging, and you get the same thing. So really, it's a lot easier just to go to the battery and tap on it, and there it comes up with everything that you are used to seeing. Okay, let's get out of there, shall we? So what happened to the Dashcam symbol that was at the top there? If you tapped it, it would record the last 10 minutes. No longer there. Go to Controls, and there it is. So you tap on that, it will download the last 10 minutes of Dashcam footage, and then it will revert back to being the normal icon with the little red recording symbol. But what happened to all the rest of them? There was Wi-Fi, there was Bluetooth, there was HomeLink, etc. Well, again, tap the Controls, and they're all across the top there. HomeLink, Alerts, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi status. My car's just completed charging, and that's why I jumped to the screen, so we'll close that. Of course, the other thing missing from the top there are the profiles. Once again, where have they gone? It's easy. Tap your Controls. There are the profiles. And you can scroll through, manage them in the same way before. That's there. And here's a box with an X, so they have not been consistent. Some boxes have them, others you have to drag down like that to get rid of it. Here's a big one. Let's say I'm listening to... There we go. So I'm listening to music. How do I get to choose FM, tune-in radio, streaming, any of the other choices, USB? Where are my music sources? Well, they've changed. They used to be down the bottom here. Now you tap on the word at the top there, and you've got everything. USB, tune-in, karaoke, Spotify, streaming, Bluetooth, and radio, they're all there. So if I were in radio, as an example, I tap on radio, it will show me all the rest of them, and I can jump back to the one I want. To me, that seems intuitive, but it might not to you. Now you know where to find it. One other thing that used to live in the top right-hand corner of the mapping area was the ability to change your map from heads up to north or any one of the other points on the compass that you wanted. So where's that gone to? Well, look left, and there it is. So once again, it's there, just it's relocated. Notice also that while I'm charging here, it gives me information about the charge process, the speed of charging, the time remaining right over here. Right now, charging is complete, so that's all that it shows me. Windshield wiper. Now, we know we can get to it there. There are all of your wiper options, but another way of getting it, tap the wiper button on the left-hand stalk, and here it is. You got it right there. So you could change it, turn it on to auto, turn it off, put it back on auto, and it will disappear after a few seconds. So when I'm in Spotify, I can tap on this, and it will give me my recently played, recents, and favorites. And if we just lift this up a little bit, we'll get more. So recently played, playlists, artists, albums. What else we got there? Oh, podcasts, genres, and moods. Those of you who have a Spotify subscription, you love the way all of this works together. And once you're signed in here, you get all the things that you've carefully chosen, curated, and especially your playlists. I hope that all of this was helpful to you. Helpful in terms of knowing what we now are able to do with our interface, knowing where things have been moved to, and also that you'll formulate your own idea of things that could be improved. And listen, whatever you feel could be improved, put it down in the comment section below. That allows me to gather up all the suggestions and put them in an episode or forward them to the Tesla software engineering teams and see if there's anything that can be done. Because the one thing is for certain, Tesla listens to its user base. No doubt about that. So now for my impressions of the software, I have a few suggestions. Overall, I love it. I love it when software gets refreshed and when people think in different ways. And we may not always enjoy every single one of those changes, but I love the fact that they put so much effort into it to give us something really worthwhile. Number one, down in that status line where the icons lie and the temperature on each side, there's plenty of spare space. The app launcher contains a lot of icons, but the active app buttons that you can display on the bottom are very limited. They're limited to 4, plus to the right of it, 1 recently used app. We have enough space, I've calculated, to have at least 7 and possibly 8 icons that could be displayed in the bottom. Why limit it to just 4? I have 7 that I would love to have down there, and I think that could be easily accomplished. A suggestion from one of my longtime subscribers, a friend named Marvin, he says, when you're looking at the progress bar when a song is playing, in dark mode, it's very, very visible, very easy to see. In normal mode, it's very hard because the play bar progress indicator kind of blends in with the background. He's looking for the color to be changed to make it more visible. I'd also like to see more app shortcuts or app links put into the app launcher box. They've already got a lot in there, but how about the following? A quick link to the tire pressure indicator, a quick link to the charging screen. I know you can tap the battery, but it's nice to have it in a number of different places as well. And a quick link to the profiles. And it will be much easier if it was one of the many apps that are listed in the app launcher box. My fourth and final suggestion for now, I'm sure we'll all have more as time goes by, is when you tap the map, and up comes that little panel on the right, and it has 3 buttons. One gives you satellite view or regular map view. The other one gives you the traffic situation around you. The third one now just gives you a pin that shows you all of the points of interest. The one for the list of charges has been moved to the navigate button at the top. Why not put a 4th one? Why not leave the charges button where we are used to seeing it and add the pin location button as a 4th entry? So there are just 4 simple suggestions that they might take into account. Anyway, folks, thank you so much. This is a longer episode, but I called this the ultimate guide because I wanted to cover everything and make sure that you could come one place and find all about how this interface is going to impact you and how to get the most out of it. So thank you to all of the supporters out there. Please, once again, just subscribe if you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen it. We've got lots of good material, over 150 uploads in the past, and lots more that are coming in the new year. So once again, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for the donations that folks have given, and I'll see you in the next episode.